and welcome to the starter guide / advanced guide to a very dope character, Crypto. I've been wanting to make this guide for a bit for the new people that want to give him a spin and hopefully enjoy him. Now, I am a Crypto main of over 2,000 kills, so I'm still kind of a beginner, but I still have some information for the people that are just now starting out that want to give him a spin as well. Now, I do have some other information from YouTubers to give you guys the best possible information, and I highly recommend checking them out. They are Iburi and also XJAYAMI. Hopefully I pronounced those names. If I didn't, I do deeply apologize. But before you guys do check out their channels, I do get some value information in this video, so I do appreciate if you would like to stay to the end. For any other Crypto mains that spot some things that need to be corrected, please comment down below and let me know how I did. But without further ado guys, let's get right into it. For each part of the video, I'm going to leave down in the description below the timestamps, so that way you can navigate to your desired part. But let's get right into it. Crypto, aka Tae-Jun Park, was adopted on a planet called Gaia, as he was roaming the streets of Subtimo as a little kid, which is actually the new map called E-District in Season 22. The person that adopted him and another child named Mila Alexander was Mystique, or aka Katarina Tikatek. Over the course of his life before entering the Apex games, he became a mechanical engineer that was hired by the Syndicate, which his first recognizable project was the cameras used in the Apex games. While Crypto and Mila was working on something for the Syndicate, Mila discovered a winning formula software of a 98 prediction of who is more likely to win the Apex games. Mila confided in Crypto, talking if they can use this to earn some extra money, and Crypto declined it. She later left the building and got unfortunately abducted by the Syndicate, which later put the blame on Crypto. After going through a chase across town, Crypto soon escaped and had to go off the grid, change his whole identity, and enter the Apex games to figure out what happened to his family. And that's how we know Tae-Jun Park as Crypto today. In the world of Apex, each legend is given 3 abilities. So let's go ahead and talk about Crypto's abilities. His passive, Neuralink, allowing him and his teammates to see enemies within 30 meters from their position. Now, with this whole passive, you would hear me and other Crypto mains say that he really doesn't have a passive, because everything revolves around his tactical, which we'll talk about a little bit. Now, Apex devs have been adding little bits and pieces here and there, but Crypto really doesn't have a passive. So hopefully later down the road, we will get one. Now on to his tactical, which is his best friend, Hack the Surveillance Drone. Now, Hack can basically activate his passive and his ultimate. He's basically the whole eyes and ears and Crypto's arsenal that can be released. So Hack can do a lot of things, like open loot bins, scan survey beacons, grab teammates' banners and respawn them, open doors and even the vault doors if you have the key, and open care packages. And just to further note, if you do scan the survey beacons, you're technically racist.
I revered the enemy's positions. That's racist as fuck, bro. You know that? That's racist as fuck. I revered that.
Now, a couple of things to note while using Hack is the ability to tap and hold on that tactical button. So tapping it will launch Hack 20 meters in any height or distance. You can also use that same distance to mount the drone by having that little green circle on that mini crosshair. If it lights up, that means you can actually mount him with that distance. If not, you're just going to be sending him outwards. Now, with holding it, you can actually have a couple of controls of piloting the drone, which is your jump button can elevate it, your crouch button, de-leveling it, and also having your left trigger or any other bind to that to level and pilot. Now, a thing that the pioneers of the Crypto community have found is that you can actually heal in the drone, and that is by tapping and holding the tactical button, and as soon as his second hand reaches his wrist, that's when you can pop your healing item and still load into the drone to look out of who is going to be coming near you and who is in the distance so you can be prepared for it. Now, hopefully Respawn does not remove this thing, because this is the only thing that has been saving me in my games whenever I put myself in a bad spot. And now for Crypto's ultimate, which is his EMP. Now, this is probably one of the most versatile ultimates in the game, coming at a 3-minute cooldown and a 30-meter radius around the drone. We have 3 seconds until it actually goes off, while doing 50 damage to shields, stuns and slows enemies, while destroying a bunch of traps that the enemies might put up. So the Watson fences, Rampart shields, caustic traps, and even Newcastle's bubble shield. That will destroy all of it. Now, it will slow you down and giving you some damage, so it is a trade-off, but your teammates will not have that damage. It will just slow them down temporarily. So yeah, everything revolves around his drone, and just because it doesn't make him a bad legend. It makes him a very useful legend because you get to use your abilities properly and be more mindful of when you take out your drone, when you use your ultimate, and how you're going to go in and out of fights without movement. You don't really have a get out of jail free card like a Wraith or a grapple like a Pathfinder. You basically use your head in and out of fights, and then you'll get punished if your drone is destroyed and you get caught lacking, basically. Moving on to the perk system. Now, this system was introduced in Season 19, and it gave the Legends 2 other abilities as they moved forward into the match that they were in. So Crypto's has been tweaked a couple of times in Season 20 and then in Season 22. I'm personally going to go after the ones that are currently in the game right now. So for his level 2 perks, we got Off the Grid and then Network Expansion. Off the Grid is basically cloaking Crypto for as long as he is in his drone. He will be detected by some scans, so like the Bloodhound scan, Seer scan, or whenever like somebody, comes closer, it will let out a very loud sound. But other than that, that is off the grid. And then network expansion is basically a bigger radius of the EMP and also scanning enemies. So instead of a 30-meter radius, it's going to be about like a 50 or 60. I'm not exactly sure. So if you're wondering which perk is actually better for you, I'm going to have to pick with Off the Grid. Yes, network expansion gives you a bigger radius, but a good Crypto will use that 30-meter radius to avoid him and his teammates before charging into that fight. So as you're playing him, you'll start to know what that whole circle is in real time. That way, again, you can negate any damage between you and your teammates. Moving on to the level 3 perks, we got Satellite Imagery and also Hackathon. So with Satellite Imagery, after the ult has been deployed, your enemies will have a Bloodhound scan of 1.5 seconds. And then with Hackathon, it gives Crypto a speed boost when his ultimate hits and speeds up the cooldown when the drone is destroyed. Now, with these 2 perks, these are probably one of the best perks that Crypto has ever gotten, because Hackathon came in, I believe, Season 21, and then Satellite Imagery just came in this season. So we're not really sure on what perk is actually better. I personally like Hackathon because it gives me a speed boost so I can quickly rush into that fight. And since, like I said, with using that 30-meter radius to not only get you out of that blast, but your teammates out of that blast, you can actually rush to the fight quicker, especially if everybody has movement. So with this one, I'm gonna have to leave up to you guys to kind of test and see which one actually works for you. It's basically, do you want a Bloodhound scan, or do you just want a speed boost to get quicker into fights and be aggressive? So a couple of tips that I would like to give to new Crypto mains is figure out how you would like to use your drone, because you can use it carefully and also recklessly at the exact same time. The reason why I say that is you need to be comfortable on when is a good time to use your drone and what is a bad time to use your drone. Now, a good, recommendation is to really just chuck it out, or some Crypto mains would like to say bird watching. So you can chuck it at the enemy and have them scan that enemy is going to be focusing on your drone and drone only. Not only you can get a free kill out of that, the other two teammates are possibly going to pop up on that said scan. So you're going to be using it recklessly, but you're also using it very mindful to give your other teammates a good indication of where the other two teammates are at. For the second tip, if you're using the off the grid perk and you're getting chased down by enemies, you can actually slide down a hill, chuck out your drone, and being cloaked while the enemies are still trying to figure out where you're at. If you really want to put in another thing, you can try healing down the slide while doing that tactic. That way you'll be able to see where the enemies are going to be at, reassess the situation, and engage back into the fight. Whenever you're under an enemy team or just around an enemy team in general, and you know they're going to be pushing, you can actually throw out your EMP really quick while using a bat or a healing item. That way, as soon as it goes off, they have less health while you just got your bat off or your healing item off and you're ready to fight. When throwing your drone out to scope out the scene or you know an enemy is there, go ahead and try to pilot the drone up and down to kind of have them focus on the drone. That way your teammates can actually start doing some damage for you. As soon as you hear a crack, you can go ahead and retreat with your drone and go right back into the fight. Since season 21, Crypto has had his network traffic upgrade into his base kit, so no matter what you do in or out of drone, you will see the number of squads that are 250 meters from Crypto. For the last tip before we move on to the final section is whenever you are out of a major battle, you can actually have your selected gun get automatically reloaded in the drone. So you really don't need a golden mag. Just make sure that gun is selected, throw out your drone, scope out the scene, and while you're doing that, you also have your gun reloaded. So what is the recommended playstyle for Crypto? Honestly, there's only 2 or maybe 3 if you want to be the aggressive type, and that is the support or the anchor type role. Because most of the time you're getting information for yourself and teammates, and this gives you a better understanding on the decisions that you need to make in order to get more wins or kills in your ranked matches. Now you can use this information while being an anchor as well, or you can play one or the other, or even both. It all depends on you. What the purpose of this guide is basically showing you guys what you need to really know and what you prefer your playstyle to be. It all depends on you. Alright, so this concludes the guide. I hope you guys took some very valuable information from this. Now, again, I am just a beginner crypto main, so some of this information is kind of, vague, especially coming from a beginner. But I promise this is not only just me, it's from the other 2 YouTubers that I've mentioned. And hopefully you guys got a better understanding of how to use Crypto and how to implement him into your guys' playstyle, just so you guys can have a better time with him. So for my returning viewers, I hope you guys really did like this style of video. And if you guys do, make sure to comment down below what your favorite part was. And for the new viewers out there, I hope you guys really did enjoy this type of content. And if you guys want to see more of it, make sure to drop a subscribe button and maybe comment down below what other character you want to see in this type of style. I want to try my best to get better at this game as much as possible, and community feedback will definitely help with that. But that's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, drop a like if you guys really did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.